Recently, Sino-Japanese relations have escalated sharply due to a series of provocative acts by the Japanese side on the Taiwan issue and in the waters of the Diaoyu Islands. Facing Japan's political opportunism and military offensives, which have intensified instead of showing repentance, China has launched a comprehensive counterattack across legal, military, and economic fronts, sending a tough signal that it will absolutely not tolerate this. In response to Sanae Takaichi's preposterous claim that Japan renounced its rights under the Treaty of San Francisco, so it cannot determine Taiwan's legal status. When facing questioning, Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi unexpectedly brought out the Treaty of San Francisco again to prevaricate, claiming that Japan's position is exactly as stated in the 1972 Joint Communiqué of the Government of Japan and the Government of the People's Republic of China, no more, no less. This attempt to use a unilateral treaty to oppose international legal cornerstones, such as the Cairo Declaration, the Potsdam Proclamation, and the Japanese Instrument of Surrender, is essentially a sinister intention by Japan to overturn the World War II post-war order. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson delivered a thunderous counterstrike, pointing out directly that Japan is being secretive and vague on the Taiwan issue, unable to even reiterate its own promises. China absolutely does not accept this and orders Japan to withdraw its erroneous remarks, or else bear the consequences. Japan is not only playing word games verbally, but is also trying to pull chestnuts from the fire in its actions, extending its dark hand toward the Diaoyu Islands. Just as Japan was ranting, the Japanese fishing boat Zuiho Maru illegally entered our territorial waters around the Diaoyu Islands. Japan's move has multiple intentions. It is a delusional attempt to use this as so-called evidence for intervening in the Taiwan Strait, a sign of coveting the rich oil, gas, and fishery resources around the Diaoyu Islands, and a way to divert domestic political pressure caused by diplomatic gaffes. However, Japan's probing has met with China's unprecedentedly strong countermeasures. China Coast Guard vessels not only legally controlled and expelled the illegal Japanese ship, but also displayed overwhelming power on the scene. 4 Coast Guard ships presided, all equipped with autocannons, while a Type 055 10,000-ton destroyer watched covetously from the flank. This thunderous posture of instant destruction upon appearance caused the victim image Japan tried to create to collapse instantly. In the face of absolute strength, any military adventure by Japan will be characterized as aggression and met with a devastating counterattack. Looking through the chaos in Japanese politics, the so-called Shigeru Ishiba rebukes Sanae Takaichi is not based on friendliness toward China, but rather a divergence within the Japanese right wing regarding the path to national normalization. Whether moderates or hardliners, their ultimate goal is to shake off the constraints of World War II, expand military power, and even seek nuclear weapons. The likes of Shigeru Ishiba are good at camouflage, advocating action without words to exchange, for the US loosening its leash, and for strategic interests. While Sanae Takaichi's stupidity lies in her lack of understanding of political cover, revealing in full Japan's accumulated nuclear ambitions, interference in the Taiwan Strait, and conspiracy to meddle in Okinawa. This not only destroyed the hide one's strength and bide one's time strategy practiced by Japanese politicians for decades, but also forced the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council to face the reality of Japan challenging the post-war order. This strategic streaking has plunged Japan into extreme passivity in the international arena of public opinion. Since Japan delusionally tries to play the Taiwan card, China directly plays the Ryukyu card that terrifies it. The core of the first island chain, Ryukyu is densely covered with US military bases, posing a serious threat to China's coast. To achieve national rejuvenation, resolving the Ryukyu issue is a necessary path. Once Ryukyu becomes independent, the first island chain will crumble. Japan's geographic reliance for intervening in the Taiwan Strait will completely vanish. Taiwan independence forces will become turtles in a jar. At that time, a Taiwan contingency is China contingency, which is the ultimate strike back against Japan's provocation. At the same time, China's economic countermeasures are precise and lethal. Targeting the industrial cure-all polyphenylene sulfide K, China has imposed anti-dumping duties on Japan, the US, and South Korea, cutting off their largest global market and striking directly at the lifeline of Japan's manufacturing industry. Currently, Japan is stuck in the quagmire of a stock and bond double kill and pressure to raise interest rates. Yet Sanae Takaichi delusionally tries to use anime lines to order foreign capital to enter. This political showmanship, violating economic laws, will only accelerate capital flight. As the markets for tourism, aquatic products, rare earths, and raw materials suffer heavy blows layer by layer. Japan's economic foundation is being completely disintegrated. Unlike Russia, which fell into passivity due to insufficient legal preparation back then, China has made full preparations for this counterattack. From sending letters to the UN to clarify its position, to warnings published in the PLA Daily, to the Coast Guard's thunderous actions in the Diaoyu Islands, and precise economic sanctions. China has occupied the legal and moral high ground. If Japan continues to willfully go its own way, it will inevitably face a defeat more thorough than that of 80 years ago. China has demonstrated to the world that for a country like Japan, which fears might but lacks gratitude for virtue, only substantive, painful strikes and all-around containment can make it truly understand the painful price of provoking China.